Good morning and welcome to this morning's devotional on Psalm 131. This morning we're just going to look at three verses from King David. But these three verses are very interesting because King David is calling out to the Lord, telling us what kind of attitude and posture he wants to take in his life, what he kind of wants to avoid, and then what he wants to lean into in verse 2, and last but not least, but what he wants the people of Israel to be invited into. So let's take a look at this morning. King David says, "My heart is not proud, O Lord. My eyes are not haughty. I do not concern myself with great matters or things too wonderful for me." And so he starts off with this posture and attitude of, I don't want to be a person of egotism and pride and arrogance. I don't want to have eyes that look out on the people around me, and because I'm in this superior authoritative position, that I'm going to use that to put them in an inferior position. He doesn't want to look around at the people like that. And then he says something really interesting. He says, I don't want to concern myself with great matters or things too wonderful for me. You would think that the king of Israel, who probably needs to know the most out of everybody going on there outside of God, that he should probably know what's going on with the great matters in his kingdom and the surrounding kingdoms. That if there are things that are too wonderful for him, he should probably try to understand it. But no, that's not his posture. That's not what he is doing. And he goes on to say, in verse 2, he says, instead of that egotism, instead of that pride, instead of that superiority, I want to still and quiet my soul. Like a weaned child with its mother, like a weaned child is my soul within me. That David is not going to be concerned about great matters. He's not going to be trying to be satisfied by filling up his ego with all of this information. He wants to be stilled and quieted in his soul. And that image of a weaned child is for him to be in a position of contentment and satisfaction. And then last but not least, he invites the people of Israel into this. He says, "O Israel, put your hope in the Lord both now and forevermore." And he's telling us here, what is it that is weaning him like a child? What is it that is satisfying his heart, that causes him to be still and quieted? It's the Lord. It's not only the Lord himself, but it's his hope in the Lord. His hope isn't in his arrogance and his egotism that will uphold and control this kingdom. His hope isn't in knowing all the information that needs to be known. His hope is in the Lord. So, this tells us some really interesting stuff. And I wonder if there's anything that's relatable for you. Do you feel like you're a kind of person that needs to know all the information? Do you feel as though you have to be in control of every aspect or area of your life? Are you in a position of authority where you look around at those around you and you see them as inferior? Do you have a proud heart that it requires for you to have attention? If David's going to invite the whole nation of Israel into this, it seems as though we can be invited into this as well. So let us quiet and still our souls. Maybe take a couple minutes after this video and just spend some moments in silence and say, Lord, I don't want to put my trust in my arrogance or my ego or pride. That's not going to get me anywhere. But Lord, everything in my life is out of control. Even if everything in my life is in chaos, let me put my hope in you. And so I hope this give you some hope this morning, that you find in the Lord, and that you find a stillness and a quietness and a satisfaction in the Lord. Have a blessed day.